Hello traders, welcome to the daily economic calendar update for Thursday the 29th of January 2015. The headline story overnight was the dollar soars and the New Zealand falls. This was on the back of the Fed and the RBNZ's policy statements. We've seen quite a large market reaction to these, and basically the Fed came up first, and it's the shortest statement since 2012. There was basically no change to the statement, and this expressed in the statement the satisfaction with the growth in labour markets. Also, the low energy prices were also positive for growth, and overall there was a rate hike still left on the table. And that's the key point and why the market moved back into the US dollar and to US assets. That's reflected quite heavily into price action, and it's a theme that I think is going to carry out now for the remainder of the week. Shortly afterwards, we had the RBNZ policy statement came out, and they moved from a tightening policy to a neutral policy. Though they mentioned that oil was affecting their tradable goods inflation. Also, there was a reduction in their dairy payout, which makes up a huge portion, up to 60% of their GDP, so it's quite important. And the outlook for growth has changed. So the New Zealand dollar was sold off very heavily. As a result of the two policy statements, oil also tanked, and we've seen the Canadian dollar get hit quite heavily, and the market piled into, as I mentioned, all US assets. The euro also fell against the US dollar quite heavily. It was under attack just purely due to the fundamentals. The European ECB is going into a very bearish policy, and the Fed is definitely much hawkish and moving into a tightening policy, potentially raising rates. So the euro should continue to fall against the US dollar. It's a theme that I think is going to carry out for the rest of the week, that's for sure, until something else changes it. So we'll be looking at, from the technical point of view, some trading opportunities in the next video. Let's look at what we've got on the economic calendar for the session coming up. We don't have a lot. It's a lot of tier 1 and tier 2 data, and with this we don't expect any data to have a major price action effect on the markets, but they will set an overall tone and continue to potentially throw fuel on the fire. We have a lot of European data with unemployment change coming out of Germany. If that was to come out weak, that'll definitely weigh on the euro. And as you can see, there's a lot of data. It's all tier 1 data coming out until we get back to Germany again. And their CPI data is to come out towards the end of the session. Followed into the US session, we have initial jobless claims, and this is an indication for the non-farm payroll, so the market will be watching that. If it was to come out positive, we should see more people pile into the US dollar and only add further strength. Likewise, the results of the pending home sales. Other than that, there's not a lot of data that has any significance that we really want to trade. It will all be on the back of a technical basis for the session tonight, and that will be in a future video, and the market is just going to basically flow on from the themes from the Fed and the RBNZ has left us for the entire session. So tune into the technical video and we'll see whether we can make some money there. Until tomorrow's update, I hope you trade well.